Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there is no problem with my audio or the video, please do let me know. Hello everyone. I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there is no problem with my audio or the video, please do let me know. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So yesterday, due to the problem with the internet, we were not able to have our class. So I have just rescheduled that class for today. Okay, it will go on accordingly. So today will be the third class, tomorrow will be the fourth class, and so on and so forth. Okay, I am clear. That's great, guys. That's great. We'll wait for 2 to 3 more minutes so that everyone is able to join us, and then we'll start with our class. Okay, we are going to start with CSS from today. We have already covered your HTML portion, and now CSS is what we are going to focus upon. If there is any problem with my audio or the video, please do let me know, guys. Everything is good today. That's great. Hello, everyone. Hello. One more thing is the information about the bootcamp being available to all of you on your WhatsApp groups. So I understand that you have been added to some WhatsApp groups on behalf of DevTown. So have you guys been like getting the updates of these bootcamps there? Do let me know. Okay, great. So I hope that you guys also are knowing about the upcoming bootcamp that we are going to have. This is the OYO Rooms object detection using Python. This will be a particular boot camp of 7 days that will be focused upon creating a computer vision based machine learning algorithm and deploying it to a website. Okay, so you will be able to share a link of a website with your friends, and they will be able to use your machine learning based computer vision based application. So that will be the aim of the next bootcamp. So, if you guys are interested in getting into the new bootcamp, do register yourself from our website devtown.in/events, and we will be able to continue with the same. It will be starting from the 12th of March, guys. Okay. Yesterday's class was cancelled, Vanash. Okay, this is the third day. Okay, and that's great. Mania, that you have already been registering yourself. Uh, yeah. Can you please drop a mail to the students who have done the final registration stage successfully? That's a good idea, Chirag. But the issue is that most of those mails will then land in either the spam or the promotions or something like that. Now, due to that, you will still not be able to get that, okay, whether it has been completed or not. We are trying our best to find a solution for the same. You will be contacted. So those who have registered for the upcoming bootcamp, you will be contacted by a particular representative from DevTown who will be helping you out with the final registration process as well. What is the last day of registration for the next bootcamp? So there's no last day of registration. My suggestion would be register yourself today. Why to wait for the last day? Okay. This is day 3, Ashutosh. Yesterday's class was cancelled. Pooja, I'm just waiting for 2 to 3 more minutes so that those who are late are also I'm able to start with them, because today we are going to start off with a new topic, that is CSS. So I don't want anyone to be missing out on any particular class. Of course, okay. Vinash, please listen to what I am saying right now. Okay, I have repeated myself for the third time. Yesterday's class was cancelled. There was no day 3. Today we are doing the class again, okay, for the day 3. So the attendance link will be shared in today's class, okay. For those who haven't completed the final registration, don't worry, you will be receiving the information on your WhatsApp number by a representative of DevTown very soon, okay. Do not worry about the same. Okay, so I think so we should be starting off with our today's class. Please let me know, guys, whether we can start off with our today's class or not. We'll be having our Netflix project on the 6th and the 7th day, okay. It will take 2 days to complete of CSS, okay. Okay, great. So let's get started off with our CSS portion right now. So it may be possible that I might be repeating some things that I had previously said yesterday. Because the session was cancelled, I will be repeating myself again. So if the first few minutes are repetitive, or you feel that okay, this is something that I've already told yesterday, please remain patient, okay. Try to listen to it once again, and yeah, let's go ahead with the same. Okay, so let's start off. First of all, please let me know what is the role of CSS. We have already learned about the same. HTML was for the structure of the website. Can someone let me know what is the role of CSS or cascading style sheets? Please be interactive in the live chat as well, guys. Okay, it provides beautification, styling, style. That's absolutely clear, okay, that we are very clear with. So whatever styling that we want to apply to a particular page, we use CSS for the same. We have already looked at the HTML code and how a HTML file looks like, and this is the example of how a CSS file will look like. So if I'm showing you a particular file and I'm asking you, okay, what this file is, I'm not telling you the name of that particular file, then you should be able to identify that, okay, if the code is in a particular layout like this, what you are able to see on your screen, that means it's a CSS file. As you're able to see, this is how a CSS file would look like. Now, you will be able to see that this is a bit different from how we were writing our code in the HTML file. Okay, so what we are going to do right now is, we are going to go back to our website. So first of all, now the CSS file itself, okay, yesterday we had seen this. If you want to create a CSS file, okay, you will have to create a new file and call it as whatever you want. Okay, it can be Shaurya, it can be Sinha, it can be style, it can be Dunzo, anything. .css, okay, just like you are having .docs or .html that defines which type of file it is, okay. So the property associated right over here is .css. Now right now, just like HTML is at version 5, that is HTML5, CSS is at version 3. So we are currently at CSS 3. Okay, so once you've created the file, whatever code, whatever like beautification you want to apply to the website, you will be writing right over here. But once the website is being rendered, okay, once the website is being rendered to your screen, only the HTML file is being rendered to your screen. And when you are reading down the HTML file, when you are going through the HTML file, there is no what do you call, like, I'm not getting the exact word, there is no reference to the CSS file. Okay, if I'm going to the HTML5, I don't know which type of files are there in the background. I will not even consider to have the CSS file along with this. So we need to specify in this particular CSS file that the style attribute, that is all the beautification attributes of this particular website, lies, all that code lies in the .css file, that is style.css file. To do that, we need to have a particular tag. That tag is called as link, but let's assume that I don't know. Okay, let's assume that I don't know how to attach, how to reference, how to link a particular CSS file to a HTML file. So what can I do right now? I will Google it. Okay, just Google link CSS to HTML. You will be able to see that HTML link tag right over here, and this is what is used. So please remember, now what is this particular, like, if I am, okay, if I am attaching, if I'm referencing to a particular document, if I'm putting a particular code in HTML that references to the CSS document, which type of code is this? This is a metadata about that particular website. That data about data, if you remember, guys, do you remember when I taught you data about data or metadata? This beautification portion is also a metadata. Okay, so this is not something that is going to come up as text on your website. It's the beautification aspect of the website. It's just the data about the data, the beautification of the data. So that is a metadata. And if you remember it correctly, all the metadata that we want to put, we put it inside the head tag. All the metadata that we want to put, we put it inside the head tag. Okay, so let's go back. Inside of the head tag, we will have under title your link. Okay, and inside link, as you are able to see, what is the relationship between this HTML file? Okay, what is the relationship between this HTML file and the file that you are referencing to? Okay, try to understand. REL is relationship. Okay, what is the relationship of the current HTML file to the file that you are linking to? So css.css file is a style sheet for the HTML file. Are you guys able to understand this? The CSS file is a reference, okay, it's a style sheet to this particular HTML tag. So the relationship is style sheet. What is href? Okay, that is your reference to that particular style sheet itself. So you will directly put style.css. Okay, for your reference, you will directly put style.css, and this is how you link your CSS file to your HTML file. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know, guys. Very simple, we are just linked. Okay, we have linked the CSS file to this particular HTML file, nothing else, guys, nothing else. So how you link a particular CSS file to your HTML file. Now once you have linked a particular file, right now we are having only one element on our website, that is the h1 element. As you're able to see, this is how, let's reload the page. This is how your website looks like right now. You only have an h1 element on your website. Now I want to use CSS to change the color of this h1 tag from black to red. Okay, REL means what is the current relationship between the HTML file and the file that you are linking, that is the CSS file. It's the style sheet. Okay, that's the relationship between the two. So what I want to do is I want to change the color from black to red using CSS. So what we are going to do is we are going back to our CSS style.css. We are going to reference. So which tag, okay, which tag we want to change the color of? Is the h1 tag, if you remember it correctly. Okay, is the h1 tag right over here. We want to change the color of the h1 tag. Okay, what do we want the color of the h1 tag to be? So color, okay, and we want the color to be red. As simple as that. So this is called as the selector. We will come to this. Okay, right now you are selecting the h1 tag and you are applying this rule set to it. Try to understand. Okay, try to understand this. The h1 tag, you want to select the h1 tag. Okay, right now we have only one particular tag on our website, that is the h1 tag. We want to select the h1 tag. Okay, we have selected the h1 tag. Inside curly parenthesis, we are writing a rule, that is the color of this particular h1 tag should be red. As I'm saving this right over here, going back to our website, reloading the page, you are able to see that the color of our text, color of our h1 tag has changed from black to red. Are you guys able to see this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to see this? Please let me know, guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So let's go back to our PPT, try to understand some of the terminologies that are there inside a particular CSS code. So this is a block of CSS code. Okay, you can think about it as the same that we have written right now. Instead of the h1 tag, we are having the div tag right over here. So the div tag, that is the h1 tag that we were using, is called as the selector. Okay, it is called as this selector. That is the tag that you want to select. Okay, the code right over here, the code, that is the conditions that you want to put, is called as the declaration block. Okay, it is called as the declaration block. The code that you want to apply, the rule that you want to apply, is called as the declaration block. That is, you are declaring the rule that you want to apply on that particular selector, and the entire thing together from top to bottom is called as a rule set in CSS. Please remember guys, these things are very important to understand. There are various reasons for the same, because when you are sitting in an interview, you won't be answering questions in like layman terminologies. You'll have to use proper words like rule set, selector, declaration blocks while explaining your answers. So this is also very important guys. Okay. Okay. Yes, we will be sharing this PPT with you guys. Do not worry about the same. Okay. So what we want to do is, first of all, we have already done this h1 to green. So we have done it for h1 to red. So I don't think so that needs to be done once again. Okay. Is this happening right over here? This hasn't been changed up till now. No issues in that. Now, two more important concepts that you need to understand, especially in CSS, is the class attribute selector and the ID attribute selector. Let's try to understand some problems that we face in CSS. For example, instead of having one h1 tag, there are four h1 tags. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5, the 5 h1 tags right over here. So let me go back to our website, reload the page. As you are able to see, we are having 5 h1 tags right over here. Okay, 5 h1 tags. Now what I want to do is, the first h1 tag I want to keep it as red. Okay, the second one I want to keep it as green, then yellow, then green, then yellow. Are you able to understand? The first one I want to keep it as red. Okay, the first one I want to keep it as red. The rest I want alternative colors of green, yellow, green, yellow. Okay, this is what I want on our website. But now the issue that we are facing is, as you are able to see, when I'm writing my code, that is h1 color is equals to red, all the h1 elements, all the different h1 tags that were there on our website got colored to red. And this is not what I wanted. I only wanted the first tag to get colored in red, and all the other tags that are coming way beyond it to be on alternative green and yellow color. This is what we want to understand. Are you able to understand this? Please let me know. Exactly. We will have to use classes and IDs. Now try to understand this. So for example, you are in a particular school or in a particular college right now. You will be divided into classes on the basis of the subjects that you have taken up. So for example, you are having one class for CSE, one class for IT, one class for civil, electrical, chemical, so on and so forth. Now the common thing between all the students who are in one class is their subject. Okay, so all the students in class A are from the CSC background. All students in class B are in IT background, and so on and so forth. But what if I want to point a particular person out? If I want to point Shaurya of class A, and I want to say that, okay, you will be doing a major in artificial intelligence. This is what I want to do. So for that, you are having your roll numbers or your IDs. Okay, for that you are having your unique roll number and your ID. Now that particular unique roll number is only assigned to you in that entire school or college. Okay, that's only assigned to you. So if I'm pulling out an ID, okay, if I'm pulling out an ID, that will be for a particular student. Are you able to understand this concept of class and ID in normal human language? Okay, not in CSS but in normal human language. Okay, so many students are a part of a class, they have the same attributes, but I can take out a unique student from a particular class and assign a particular value to him. Are you able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Are you able to understand? Okay, great. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to apply the same thing, okay, the same concept of IDs and classes to this particular 5 h1 tags as well. So what we are going to do is the first tag, okay, this tag I only wanted to be of red color. Okay, this is a unique tag on the entire page that I wanted to be of red color. Now every even tag, okay, every even tag I wanted to be of green color, and every odd tag I wanted to be of yellow color. So this is my condition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create IDs and classes for the same. Now to create a particular class, the code that you have to use, for example, when we were writing directly for the h1 tag, we directly wrote this selector as h1 and then applied that particular condition on it. Whereas when you're going further with just a second, when you're going further with a class, it is dot and then the name of that particular class. Okay, and for id it is hash and then the name of that particular id. Okay, we'll come back to this, give me a second. Okay, go back to our code. Okay, so what we are going to do is for the first h1 we are going to have an id associated with it. Okay, we are going to have an id associated with it. We are going to name this id as first. Okay, we are going to have the id for the first h1 as first. Now after, because that is unique, that's the only tag that needs to be of red color. Okay, that is unique in the entire page. No other tag will be of red color itself. This is unique. Okay, next for every alternate, okay, so for this I'm going to have it as class even. Okay, and for the next one I will be having the class as odd. Okay, and I will be repeating the same down below as well. So let me just copy paste it from here. So for the next one, as this is odd, this one would be even, and then the next one would be odd once again. So let's convert this to odd. So now I have given both IDs and classes to my h1 tags. As you're able to see, the first h1 tag has just an ID of first. The next h1 tag has an ID of even. The next h1 tag has the ID of odd, and so on and so forth. If I want to proceed much further than that, I can just copy this entire bit from right over here and I can just paste it as many times as I want. But when I'm saving this, going back to my website, reloading the page, it's still all in red color. Why is that the case? Because we haven't written the code. We haven't written the code for your IDs and class. Okay, we haven't written the code for IDs, the CSS code for IDs and class. So for class you have to put a dot, then the name of the class, that is even. Okay, then the same, the rest is the same. So color, to fit the color as green, and for odd class we want to have the color as let's say yellow. Okay, so we are having your ID and we need an ID as well. So we will change the ID to, for ID we need to use hash, then the name of the ID first. Okay, and we will put the color as red. So we have written the CSS code. For ID it is hash and then the name of that particular ID. For your class it is dot and the name of that particular ID, and so on and so forth. Now when I'm saving this, going back to my website, reloading the page, you will be able to see that the first the first h1 with the ID, okay, the first h1 with the ID of first is red in color. Okay, and then it is green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, as many number of times as I want. So as you were able to see, we can have multiple tags with the same class. Okay, we can have multiple tags with the same class. As you're able to see, the every even h1 is having the same tag as even, and every odd h1 is having the same tag as odd. Whereas you can only have one ID by the name of first on this particular entire page. If you want to create another ID, you will have to name it something else, maybe second, third, something gibberish, anything else. But you cannot have two firsts ID on the same website. Okay, Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Think about it as your roll number and your class. You will be able to understand it very easily. Are you able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Are you able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Amazing, guys. Amazing. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so I'm so sorry. In your normal life, okay, whenever you are using some type of measurement, you will be measuring things in miles or kilometers or centimeters or meters on feet and so on and so forth. That is the unit of measurement of length in your day to day life. Similarly, while creating an entire website, there is a lot of measurements that you need to take into consideration. Okay, that for example where a button should be there, okay, what should be the width of the button, height of the button, where the image should be there, what should be the gap between that image and the left border of the website, and so on and so forth. Okay, okay. So what we are going to do is the same thing applies for the computers as well. In computers, these measurement of like length is usually done in pixels or percentage. Okay, what do I mean by pixels? Any website that you are creating, any device that you're using has a screen to the same, whether it be your phone, your tablet, your TV, your laptop. And if you bring that particular device very close to your face, okay, you will be able to see some small rectangles, small squares, okay, that are present on that screen. Each of these squares is called as a pixel. Okay, and you can use this pixel as your unit of measurement to create your websites. For example, this button should be 10 pixels from the right hand side border of your device. Okay, are you able to understand this? Pixels, are you able to understand the concepts of pixels, guys? Please let me know. Just bring your laptop very close to your face. You will be able to find some rectangles to your screen. Okay, and these rectangles itself are called as pixels, and you can use these pixels as your unit of measurement while building a website. Similarly, the same can be applied as percentage of width of your screen. Okay, so for example, the width of this particular website is maybe something, depending on if you're on your mobile phone, it will be in a smaller rectangle. If you're on your laptop, the rectangle, the width would be larger. If you're on your TV, the width would be even larger. So from there, what you can do is you can use percentage. Okay, so the gap between two items on a particular website should be 50% of the width of that particular website. What do I mean by that? If you're watching on your TV, what is the 50% of the width of the TV? That should be the difference between the two items. If you're watching on your mobile phone, whatever the width of your mobile phone is, the distance between the two elements would be 50% of the width of that particular mobile phone. Okay. Okay, I will explain one more time about pixels. Pixels are small units. Okay, so they are small LEDs that are there on your entire screen. Okay, talking about 1080p or 1440p or like 4K. What are these? These are the number of pixels that are there on your screen. Okay, so that is how it happens. Like the 3000 by 1000 pixel, then you are having pixel density. Okay, so that is these units that are there on your screen, that is called as pixels. Okay. Are you able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. This is how your screen, if you zoom into your screen using a mobile phone, you will be able to see these small LEDs, okay, that can take up colors from RGB and put up color on your screen. This is how pixels look like. Okay. Okay, great. So let's move on from right over here. So this is the units of measurement when it comes to designing a particular website. Okay. So now there are two type of measurements that you can do. One is absolute measurement. Okay. So for example, there is like 8 meters. I will be explaining the concept of percentage and everything again. Somebody is spamming the chat. We'll have to remove them. What should I report him as? Because I don't know what he's writing right now. I don't know. Let's put it up as this. I don't want to report him for something he's not writing, because I am not able to understand what he's writing on our live chat. No issues in that. I just want to see the correct people who have genuine questions, so that I'm able to answer them rather than spams. Don't say stuff like that. Okay. Okay. So I'm so sorry where I was. Can somebody remind me? Can somebody please remind me where I was? I have totally spaced out of what I was teaching. Okay, yeah, I was on the PPT itself. So there are two type of measurements that you do. So the first one is absolute measurement. What's the width of this particular road? You'll be measuring it and you will be saying that okay, it's 8 meters. Okay, and the second one is relative measurement. So how wide is this particular road? You'll be saying it is 2 cars wide. Okay, with respect to a particular car, you are saying 2 cars wide. So you are having absolute and relative measurements. Okay, similarly, when you're moving further with the same, you are having two type of measurements in CSS as well, in your website as well. Your pixels are absolute measurements. Okay, that is, if you're writing 400 pixels, the distance will be 400 pixels, whether it be on your mobile phone, on your laptop, on your TV, on your desktop, anywhere you go, the distance will be fixed. That is 400 pixels, and your pixel size does not change when you're in your laptop, phone, or your TV. It remains the same. So it is like 400 inches long itself. Like it's a fixed length. Whereas relative is width is 40% of your screen. So if your screen is a mobile phone, then 40% of the width of the mobile phone. If it is your laptop, 40% of the width of the laptop. If it is your TV, 40% of the width of your TV, and so on and so forth. Okay. So these are the examples of absolute and relative measurements. Now we are going to discuss about all these like measurement techniques right now. Okay, for an absolute, we have already discussed about pixels. You can also use millimeters, you can use inches, you can use centimeters, but usually you should refrain yourself from using millimeter, inches and centimeter at any point of time. And again, if you are using pixels as well, it is strongly recommended that you should be abstraining yourself. You shouldn't be like using absolute measurements in your website. Okay, the examples was the same. We'll be doing it tomorrow, guys. Okay, I have a lot of different, like I take it in steps. I don't go from 1 to directly 100, because I have to take like almost like 550 students along with me. Okay. Okay, so usually prefer to go with relative measurements itself rather than going with absolute. That will be my suggestion to you. Even if you are going with absolute, you should be using only pixels, not inches and centimeter. You can use them, but you shouldn't. Okay, in relative, you have percentage, VW and VH, and that is what we are going to discuss right now. Okay, the examples for the same, we are going to do it tomorrow. We'll be doing the examples as well as the what do you call it, yeah, the grid layout and all those kind of stuff. So we will be doing some complex padding and all those kind of stuff tomorrow of CSS. Right now, just try to understand it. I'm giving you a brief introduction to the topics. I don't want to overburden you with CSS. Okay, there's a lot that you can do in CSS. You can even create amazing animations in CSS. Okay, we are teaching it in our program as well, but there's so much more that you can do with CSS. It's a great tool to use. Right now, a newer version of CSS has all like came up right now. Okay, you are using CSS3, that's the latest, but there's a slight moderation of the same called as SASS. Okay, SCSS. Okay, now that is a slight moderation upon CSS which uses inheritance as well, that is not included in CSS, so that is also amazing, guys. Okay, again, just to make sure that I'm saying this right now, the attendance link for today, please do not open it within the class. Open it up at the end of the class itself, not right now. Is in the bio of the Instagram page. Okay, is in the bio of the Instagram page. Do not focus upon what is inheritance and all those kind of stuff. That is going to be covered in this particular bootcamp. Okay, but just to make sure that if someone is going into further depth as well, they can start off with SCSS. Okay, again, the attendance link is in the bio of our Instagram page. The link to the Instagram page is down in the description of the video. Do not open it up right now. Open it up at the end of the bootcamp itself, today's class. Okay. Okay, so let's get started right now, guys. Okay, so CSS absolute units. First of all, the pixel. One pixel is almost 1 by 96th of an inch. If you want to calculate it, okay, it is 1 by 96th of your inch. Okay, those who don't have Insta, you can open it up in a private tab itself. It will show you. You have to copy paste it. If you're not able to copy it, type it out. Okay, use some common sense. Okay, so you are having 1 by 96th of an inch right over here. That is the size of a pixel. I think so. I should be zooming in a bit. 1 by 96th of a particular inch is the size of a pixel. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Okay. Praveen, and like I said, that was just an additional information. Please focus upon what I am teaching right now. Okay. Thank you. So in inches, 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Centimeters and millimeters are something that you are already familiar with. Okay, so that was the absolute units. I'm not going in depth with absolute units because I understand that you will be able to like understand absolute units on your own. Relative units is something that I will have to explain it to you using examples. Okay, so as you're able to see right over here is EM, VW, VH, percentage are relative units. Okay, these are relative units as you are able to see. Now we'll start off with EM. Okay, let's first of all read a description and then we'll go on to our code and try to implement it. So relative to the font size of the element, 2EM means 2 times the size of the current font. Okay, so if I'm having 2EM as the font size, that will have the size as twice the previous font size. So let's go to our twice the original font size. Let's go to our page. We'll remove everything from down here to the end. Okay, so we are only having one H1 tag on our screen as you are able to see right now. Okay, we are going to increase the size. Okay, so right over here the ID is first. We're going to increase the font size. So font size, I want to put it up as 2EM. Okay, we want to put the font size as 2EM as over here. We have used 2EM right now. Okay, so that is hash first. Okay, what is hash first? That is the ID that we have assigned. We have put up the font size. Okay, I haven't discussed anything about the inheritance part. I'm telling again, please do not ask about it. This is not that is going to be covered in this bootcamp. Okay, that was just an additional information that there is one more technology that has been built up on CSS called as SCSS. Okay, it's not for this particular bootcamp. I'm just telling you guys it's important. If you are proceeding further from these bootcamps, going into a program or learning on your own, that is a particular technology that you should be familiarizing yourself with. Okay, so you are having font size as 2EM. okay, right over here. And let's go to our website and let's see what happens. So this is the original website, okay. This is the original website. We are going to reload the page. As you are able to see, okay, nothing happened. I did something. Change this to H1. Let me change it to a paragraph tag then. As it is an H1 tag, I think so the like size is fixed. That's why I'm changing it to a paragraph tag so that I'm able to do something more with the same. So let's go to it, change it to P. So right now the original size, okay, this is a particular paragraph tag, as you are able to see from right over here. This is the original paragraph tags with no CSS applied on the same. As soon as I'm reloading the page, you are able to see that this size got twice the original size, okay. So if I want it to be a default size, I can put it up as 1 em, okay. This will give me the default size of that particular paragraph tag. This is the default size. As soon as I'm doing it 2, that will give me twice the original size. If it was 10 originally, it will be 20 right now. If I'm going with 3, okay, that is thrice the original size, that is 30, okay. So if I'm reloading this, it will be thrice the original size, okay, and so on and so forth. Are you able to understand this? How does em work? Em works on the font size itself. Whatever is the original font size, how much number, or what is the numerical value of em, that value would be multiplied by its current font size, and that will be determined as the final font size for that particular element, okay. Are you able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Are you able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Okay, so most of somebody is asking what is the full form of em. See, the full form of em, I don't exactly remember, like it's something like empirical units or something like that. You can check out the spelling. So that is like empirical units or something like that, okay. Okay, great. So let's move on to the next relative size. Okay, VW, 1% of the width of the viewport. Now what's a viewport, guys? You need to understand this. What do you mean by a viewport? Viewport means what is the current size of this particular desktop. Okay, what is the current size of the desktop is, that is called as viewport. What is the view of the current website? So this right now, this is like very small viewport. As soon as I am like increasing the width of the viewport is increasing. If I'm decreasing the height, then the height of the viewport is decreasing right now. This is the maximum viewport for both height and width. This is the minimum viewport for, this is a minimum viewport according to me for height and width, that is 0 by something, okay. So viewport means what you are able to view on the current website, that is the height and width of a particular viewport, okay. Now if you are going with VW, that means viewport width, okay. VH means viewport height, okay. Ephemeral unit, yeah. Are you able to understand viewport? Are you able to understand the concept of viewport, guys? Please tell me. Are you able to understand the concept of viewport? Why not use absolute units? For example, you have put up the size of a particular text as 10 pixels, okay. Now in your mobile phone, you are able to read everything very properly. But when you're going to your laptop, it seems very small. You are not able to read anything out of it. Okay, that's why we have relative units. So along with the size of your screen, the rest of the things also change, okay. Great. So you are able to understand viewport. Now what we need to understand is how does VW and VH work. So if I'm writing 10 VW, that means 10% of the viewport width. Okay, let me show you it to you guys. So right now I'm having the font size of P as let's say 5 VW. Let's keep it as 3 VW. Okay, so viewport width, VW means viewport width, that is the width of the web page itself. If I'm putting 3 VW, going back to our website, reloading the page, this is the font that is 3% of the width of the website. Now if I'm changing the width of the website, you will be able to see that the font size is also increasing along with the width of the website. As the width of the website is decreasing, the font size is also decreasing right over here. But when I am changing the height, nothing is being changed. As you are able to see, nothing is being changed right over here. Okay. No, VW and percentages are not the same, guys. Many people confuse the two. The main difference is when you're treating with VW or VH, it deals with the entire website. The entire website. Percentage is different. Percentage is a big concept and we will be covering it tomorrow, not today. But just remember this, you will be able to understand the difference. Right now, just assume that I have already told you VWVH is one side, percentage is other. In VWVH, we are just discussing about that right now. Tomorrow, we will be discussing about percentage, and you will be able to understand some more concepts. Then you will be able to understand it very thoroughly. For VWVH, assume that I've already told you that it only depends upon the size of your website. Okay, so right over here, if I am changing this to VH, okay, if I'm changing it to, let's say 12 VH, let's assume that, or like 10 VH. Okay, I'm changing it to 10 VH right over here. Going back to my website, VH means viewport height. This is according to the viewport height. Now if I'm reducing the width, the like size won't change. Is that able to see? The size don't change. Okay, exactly, Ethan, you have told it correctly. Percentage depends upon the height and width of the container, but I haven't like made them understood what containers are. So once I've dealt with that particular topic tomorrow, then they will be able to understand this. Whereas if I'm changing the height, then the font size is getting changed, as you're able to see. Then the font size is getting changed. Are you able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. We will be ending our class, Puttaswamy, very soon. Don't worry about that. In like 5 minutes, we'll be ending the class. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Amazing, 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 amazing. When we will study JS? From day after tomorrow, we'll be starting off with JS. From tomorrow itself, if we are able to complete the CSS in 30 minutes, there's not a lot left. Then we'll starting from tomorrow. And it will take 1 to 1.5 days to complete that. Okay. Amazing. So just to remind you guys, those who want to join the upcoming bootcamp on the object detection using Python, what we are going to cover, the project that we are going to make in this particular bootcamp is, we'll be creating a machine learning based, deep learning based application, okay, that you are going to deploy on a particular website. You can share the link of that particular website with your friends. They will be able to open up the website on their phones, and they will be able to use their own mobile camera on that particular website to scan items, and the application, your machine learning algorithm, will be able to tell them that, okay, this is a book, this is a banana, this is a pillow, this is a bed, and this is a pen, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we will be covering Python, we will be covering JavaScript, we will be covering a bit of computer vision as well, and then we'll be starting off with the project in the next bootcamp. The registrations for the same has already begun. You can register yourself from the website itself, okay, and do it soon. you will be contacted by a particular person from DevTown. So please be ready for the same, who will be asked, once you have registered for the program, you will be asked to complete the final registration as well. So you will be contacted by a particular person from DevTown. Please complete the final registration as well, because we don't charge anything for these bootcamps. We have it for free of cost, so you can at least help our community grow for the same. If something like this was being taught somewhere, it would have charged at least 500 to 1,000 rupees from you. So it's better to attend it for free rather than to pay. Okay. Sure, it will be useful for a final project as well. You can submit it as your final project. Okay, the next bootcamp. One more thing, for those, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us a lot, okay, to grow, to reach out to more companies and provide you with good quality certificates as well. So there will be a lot. Yeah, the bootcamp, OU bootcamp will contain machine learning, web development both, and how to deploy a machine learning model to a web application. Okay, and you will be deploying that as well. So it will be an amazing bootcamp. Okay. Yes, all our bootcamps, any program that DevTown is organizing at any point of time, there are no prerequisites. We assume that you don't know anything and we start from there. So you don't have to worry about the same. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Naveed. Okay. So, thank you so much. It was great, amazing meeting you guys as well. Yes, again, beginners can attend any of our boot camps. You don't have to worry about the same. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. Attendance link has already been shared. For those who have been throughout the entire class, they know. Those who were missing out on a, like, even for 5 minutes, you won't be able to understand where the attendance link is. So don't ask for attendance link. Attend the session properly on time. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. It was great meeting you today. We'll be meeting you tomorrow once again, and we'll be completing the CSS portion, starting off with JavaScript. There's a lot that we have to cover, guys. We have to start with our project as well. Don't worry, if it is taking me one more day to complete the project, I will extend it for one more day, complete the project. So you don't have to worry that, okay, I was not able to understand this, or how will it be completed in 1 day or 2 days. If it is exceeding the understanding concepts is much more important for me rather than rushing things up. So I will try my best so that you guys are able to understand stuff properly. Okay. Yes, PPT will be shared with you. Yes, today is the 3rd day because yesterday's class got cancelled. Okay. The PPTs will be shared on WhatsApp groups, Telegram channel, Discord, but that will be done only after the end of the bootcamp. Okay, before the project, at the end of the bootcamp, not right now. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you so much. We will meet tomorrow and we'll have an awesome time ahead. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Please be on time, guys, and please like the video, man. Like, there are almost 500 of you live right now. Like, it takes 1 second. Like the video, it really helps us a lot. Okay, so if possible, as I'm able to see, there are almost like 467 of you live along with me right now. So if it's possible, do like the video, guys. It really helps us a lot. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.